Hey, Vikings faithful. Skull Nation, what's good? It's your passionate purple and gold brother here, ready to dive into the latest Vikings drama that's got us all buzzing like a beehive in Minneapolis. Today, we're tackling the Aaron Rodgers saga. Yeah, that Aaron Rodgers, and whether he's still in play for our Minnesota Vikings in 2025. Teaser alert. Just when we thought the door was slammed shut, a crack of light sneaks through. Are we really done with the former MVP? Or is there more to this story? Stick with me, because this roller coaster's about to take off. Let's break it down, Skull style. Picture this. It's March 27th, 2025, and the NFL offseason is heating up faster than a tailgate grill at US Bank Stadium. A week ago, the headlines screamed that the Vikings were out of the Rodgers sweepstakes, ready to hand the keys to the kingdom to our rookie phenom, J.J. McCarthy. We were all hyped, new blood, fresh start, right? But then, boom, GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah steps up to the mic on Wednesday and drops a bombshell that's got us all scratching our horned helmets. He's not locking that door just yet. What's cooking in the Vikings war room? Let's dig into the first twist of this tale. Kwesi didn't mince words when it came to J.J. McCarthy. He said our 2024 first-rounder has met the bar and exceeded our expectations at every point. That's huge, fam. Despite missing his entire rookie season with knee surgeries, 2 of them, tough break for the kid. JJ's still the guy they're betting on. Kwesi's all in, saying 2025 with McCarthy under center is the outcome we want and the outcome we're headed toward. Sounds like a love letter to our young QB, doesn't it? But hold up, there's a but coming, and it's a big one. Now let's flip the script. Even with all that McCarthy praise, Kwesi's not ready to call it a day on the quarterback hunt. It's our job to set up a quarterback room, he told reporters. And guess who's on the wish list? Yup, Aaron freaking Rodgers. The 4-time MVP, the guy who's tormented us in purple for years with the Packers, was in the mix this offseason. Kwesi admitted they had him on the radar as a veteran option, competition, or insurance. Take your pick. Coach Kevin O'Connell even had extensive dialogue with Rodgers during free agency. Can you imagine those chats? Hey, Aaron, want to trade green for purple? Wild stuff, right? Here's where it gets juicy. Kwesi didn't just leave it at "we talked." He confirmed Rodgers is always going to be in those conversations because of his caliber. A player like him doesn't just fade from the radar, he's a legend, stats to prove it. 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns in 2024. Even if his completion percentage dipped to 63%. The Vikings were transparent with him, laying out all the cards. Kwesi said they're happy with the QB room. Right now. Emphasis on right now. That's the hook, folks. Are we really set? Or is there a storm brewing on the horizon? So what's the vibe in Vikings land? Kwesi's singing JJ's praises, but he's also keeping that veteran lifeline dangling. We're happy with where we are right now, he said, but then added, given all our scenario planning, we're happy with our room. Scenario planning? That's code for, we've got backup plans, fam. And Rodgers? He's still out there, and signed with O'Connell's number on speed dial. The GM made it clear they built a solid foundation with McCarthy and Brett Rippon, but they're still hunting for another arm. Could that be Rodgers? What do you think? Should we roll the dice on youth or hedge our bets? Let's rewind a sec. Why even consider Rodgers? The dude's 41, coming off a rocky 5-12 season with the Jets. And yeah, that Achilles scare in 23 still lingers. But he's also got a cannon arm and a football IQ that's off the charts. Pair that with Kevin O'Connell's offensive genius, remember their history, and you've got a recipe for fireworks. Kwesi said O'Connell and Rodgers have a great relationship still. That's not just coach talk. That's a connection that could spark something big. But is it worth shaking up the McCarthy plan? Hit me with your takes in the comments. Now let's zoom in on Wednesday's presser. Kwesi's juggling 2 truths. McCarthy's the future, but the present's still fluid. He said they got to a place with Rodgers where everyone was transparent. Translation: no hard feelings, just business. The Vikings laid out their vision, JJ as QB1, a solid room behind him, and Rodgers knows the score. But here's the kicker. Kwesi didn't say never to more talks. He didn't say done. He said, "We didn't think it was the right move at this time. At this time, Skull Nation. That's a tease that keeps us on edge. So, are we back in the Rodgers game? Not quite, Kwesi's keeping it real. It's also his decision whether he signs with another team," he noted. Rodgers could jet off to Pittsburgh or New York. He's got options. But Kwesi's not boxing himself in either. "For me to sit here and say anything's 100% forever, that's just not the job," he said. "Things can change, injuries, McCarthy's spring performance, you name it. The Vikings are playing chess, not checkers, and Rodgers is still a piece on the board. What's your gut telling you, fam? Let's paint the picture." J.J. McCarthy, 22 years old, fresh off rehab, saying he's 100% and ready to roll. "He's got the keys," Kwesi's words, not mine. But the Vikings aren't tossing the spare set just yet. Rodgers, meanwhile, is out there, a free agent with a chip on his shoulder, maybe eyeing one last dance. Kwesi's scenario planning could mean anything. A McCarthy stumble, a playoff push, or just good old depth. The suspense is killing me. Are we sticking with the kid or flirting with the vet? Drop your predictions below. Here's the heart of it, Vikings fans. Kwesi's betting on McCarthy, no doubt. First-round pedigree, high expectations, the works. But he's also got that GM brain ticking, thinking about every what if. Rodgers isn't the plan today, but tomorrow? Who knows? Things can change, he said. And in the NFL, they change fast. Remember 2009? Brett Favre came out of nowhere and took us to the NFC Championship. Could history repeat with another ex-Packer? I'm hyped just thinking about it. What about you? Let's talk stakes. If McCarthy balls out this spring, think crisp throws, smart reads, the Rodgers chatter fades. But if he's shaky, if that knee's not right, the Vikings might pick up the phone again. Kwesi's not closing doors. He's leaving windows cracked. And Rodgers? He's not rushing either. Dude's chilling, waiting for the right fit. The Vikings could be that fit, but only if the stars align. What's the one thing JJ needs to prove to lock this down? Let's hear your hot takes. Now, imagine this: training camp, July 2025. McCarthy's slinging it, looking like the future. But then, plot twist, Rodgers signs late, O'Connell's grinning, and we've got a QB battle for the ages. Far-fetched? Maybe. But Kwesi's things can change line has me dreaming, Skull Nation. The Vikings want a Super Bowl. Decades of heartbreak fuel that fire. McCarthy's the long game. Rodgers could be the now. Which path gets us there? I'm torn. Help me out in the comments. Alright, let's wrap this up with some real talk. The Vikings are at a crossroads. Youth versus experience. Promise versus proven. Kwesi's got faith in JJ, but he's not blind to Rodgers' allure. Right now, we're good, he says, but right now ain't forever. This is Vikings football, fam. Unpredictable, emotional, and oh so addictive. Are we riding with McCarthy or begging for Rodgers? I need your vibe check. Sound off below. Skull Nation. That's the latest on the Vikings QB saga. From McCarthy's rise to Rodgers' shadow, we're in for a wild ride. If you're as pumped as I am, smash that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments. McCarthy or Rodgers? Who you got? And subscribe for more Vikings news straight from the heart of a fan. Share this with your crew, because the purple pride runs deep. Skull Vikings. Let's keep the faith and chase that ring together.